my home.
That, but also the prior conversation because you were still mad at me.
Girl, you know I was mad at you.
Okay, but you're supposed to. Did you apologize for yelling at me?
I should not have had to yell at you. You yelled at me first.
No, you yelled. Oh,
I yelled at Xavier. You
okay.
thought I was yelling at
Yeah.
you?
Literally, he wasn't even in the room when you did that. He was already had run up the stairs or over to the stairs or something. He did not hear you.
I literally could hear him crying as you were talking to him.
Yeah. And then he ran up the stairs, and then when you were screaming no cookies, he wasn't even in the room. So I thought you were like screaming at me that I needed to say no cookies.
Well,
You see the misunderstanding on both sides. And I.
The trusted #1 treatment for allergic itch is available in a tasty chewable that works fast.
May cause worsening of existing parasitic skin infestations, serious infections, or pre-existing cancers. New neoplasias have been observed. Do not use in dogs under 12 months of age with serious infections or in breeding, pregnant, or lactating dogs.
Ask your...
He's not this beautiful home you guys have here.
bro, I left the door open. The nigga would come in.
Oh, and he didn't.
He didn't come
Welcome
in.
to the Green Room. I'm Bob Bledsoe. This is the Detective Inspector. He is, as you might guess, a banana, as well as Inchy, Orange Dream. He might be, he's actually probably super Inchy.
He already in violation.
Why is the banana gene so different than every other gene that we've identified in ball pythons? And why is it so difficult to understand? It's not really that difficult to understand. We are going to go back to the closet door board today, though, and talk about it as simply and as completely as I know how to do. I'm going to use visuals again, you guys. Welcome to the Green Room. I'm Bob Bledsoe. This is the Detective Inspector. He is, as you might guess, a banana, as well as Inchy, Orange Dream. He might be, he's actually probably super Inchy, and he could be super Orange Dream as well, but we have to prove that out. He's also possibly Fire and maybe Pastel, but I think he's more likely to prove out Fire than Pastel. So he's got some stuff that we can't really tell what's in him because of the banana. It's such a visually dominant gene that it's kind of masking what other things he might have. So we just have to breed him to prove it out. And in breeding him with 3 of my females this year, what I'm hoping to have, this will be his first year breeding. So what I'm hoping to have is 3 clutches of eggs, hopefully. And what's probably going to happen there is that every male that he produces will contain the banana gene, will be a banana male. Every female that he produces will not be a banana. So we have about a 95% chance of that being the case. So we'll talk about why that is. We're going to go to the board. As always, by the way, behind the camera is my brother, Kent. Kent, you want to say hi? I don't like the name banana for a snake because it makes people think, oh, it's just named after a fruit. It can't hurt you. It's a terrible name. You know what's a good name? It's Coral Glow. You told me one time that Coral Glow and banana are the same snake, just different name. Well, you know what? A coral snake is highly venomous. So a Coral Glow is a coral snake, but glowing with venom. Stay away. That's a good name for a snake. Banana. You know what? You could die from a banana too. You could choke on it. It could be not ripe. All sorts of ways. I mean, thanks as always, Kent, for your input. Really, really valuable. All right, I'm going to put the Detective Inspector back. He's cruising around. He's going to be a beard snake for a minute. I'm going to put him back in his enclosure, and then we are going to get. Oh, now he's definitely on my mic. Sometimes snakes will do this. They'll wrap around and they'll start squeezing, and they're not trying to kill you, but what they're doing is they get stuck on your neck, and they touch your skin and they get stuck on your neck, and it's like a Chinese finger trap, and they just squeeze harder and harder. I talked about it in another video, but this is a great example of it. They're not trying to give you a hug, and they're not trying to kill you or anything. They're just trying to move, and if they can't move, they'll try harder by doing the same thing. So anyway, little behavior bit in this in this video. All right, I'm going to put him back, and then we're going to get back to a genetics video. We'll do more behavior stuff later. Okay, before we get into this fancy board situation, you should know that there's a ton of videos out there about the banana gene. However, there's a lot of misinformation out there because up until about 3 years ago, we didn't know really what was going on with banana. And so any video that talks about the theories of how banana works that's 3 years old or older is just guessing. Any video that you see that's, more current than that has good information usually. A lot of times it doesn't have the complete information. So when I was learning about the banana gene, I had to watch different videos. First of all, watch different videos several times to understand this, and also put several different videos together to sort of get the complete picture. So what I'm going to try to do here with this is explain to you how this works. And it's actually very simple. So this isn't a hard concept to understand, but what a lot of people try to do is they try to just memorize, oh, okay, well, if it's a male maker and it came from the mom and then the dad, then that's going to make the, memorizing stuff is going to be really difficult to do because there's a lot of different sort of variables, but understanding how it works makes it very simple. Let me start out at the very beginning for people who don't understand even what banana does or why this is a different gene. This is a sex-linked gene. And what that means is that you can have male maker or female maker banana ball pythons. So mine, for example, the inspector, is a male maker banana ball python. That means that all of the males that he produces will be banana. There's about a 5% chance that they won't, but 95% chance every single male will be banana and every single banana will be male. If he was a female maker, it would be the reverse of that. So that's an interesting thing about banana, and we're going to explain how that works. But the thing to know, the other thing to understand that a lot of people don't, I think, is that when we talk about male maker and female maker bananas, we're only...
Ever since we started using Jobber, we've 6x'd in revenue, we've 3x'd our team. Things have just been going so much more smooth.
Even within our 14-day trial, we were just like, whoa, we have missed out on so much. And we have been working so hard this whole time when we could have just made the switch to Jobber and it just do all of it for us, all in one place. It changed our business and it'll change yours.
With Walmart's 500 million items, you can make home feel like a galaxy far, far away.
Dad, can Grogu have some friends?
What do you think about these?
Walmart has that too?
Who knew?
Talking about the dad. The mom will make 50-50. If the mother is a banana, she'll make 50% females and 50% males. Because, and we're going to sort of back up and get out of banana for a minute and just talk about how sex is determined. But the mother doesn't have anything to do with determining sex. So let's just really quickly go over this. These blue lines are the sex chromosomes. Okay, so we're just calling these the sex chromosomes. And there's a bunch of different chromosomes that make up a snake, let's say, just to keep it easy. And most of the genes that we've identified are located on other chromosomes. They're not even on these sex chromosomes, but banana is, okay? So let's talk about this. A female, this happens in people as well. This is exactly the same way as people work. A female has an X and an X chromosome that they can throw either one of these, but they're both X. A male has an X and a Y, and he could throw either one of these. And this is, if you saw my other genetics video, this is very similar to how the morph genes work. In throwing one of these, but it's random. So if we know that mom is always going to throw one of these X's, she can't throw anything else because she only has 2 X's to throw. She's going to do that. And then the dad will either, and it's a 50-50 shot, he'll either throw a Y which would make this baby a boy. By the way, do you like my artwork? Kent, do you like my artwork? Nope. Thank you for the constructive criticism. If dad throws an X, then the baby is a girl. So this is why mom has nothing to do with determining the genes. It's up to the father determining the sex is what I meant to say. It's up to the father to do that. So let's put these back. Now here's the simple explanation for banana. And that is that the banana gene, let's say that the dad, the banana gene sits on the X and Y chromosomes. And that's why they're sex linked. Here's what happens. Mom throws an X, just like she did before. It's a plain old X. Dad throws a Y. There's a banana gene, that little yellow spot is our banana gene, if you hadn't already guessed that. The banana gene is attached to the Y chromosome. That's just where it is. So when he throws his Y, he's also going to throw a banana. 95% of the time. I almost said every time, but think of it as every time. There is what's called a crossover event where this banana gene could jump to the X, but it only happens about 5% of the time. So let's just say the rule is that it stays on this Y gene. So every Y gene that he throws in the clutch is going to have banana attached to it. And every X gene that he throws will not have banana. So this is exactly how the inspector is wired. He will throw, every boy that he has will have a banana gene attached, and that's why those boys will be bananas. Okay. So let's say that mom, let's make dad the non-banana situation. And let's say that mom now is banana. Now watch this. So here's why the females are not male maker, female maker. They're going to throw 50% of whatever. Because here's what happens. If mom throws this X, then we just have no banana at all. Dad could throw the Y and we got a normal boy, or dad could throw the X and we've got a normal girl, right? Mom could throw the banana X, and if she does, dad could throw the Y and we've got a banana boy, or dad could throw the X and we've got a banana girl. Now watch this. If, let's say it's a banana boy right here, that makes this baby a female maker, because every X gene, let's change this back to the dad. So since we were talking about that anyway, because that baby's not old enough to have children yet. So let's say that the dad has banana on his X. So that makes him a female maker, because now when he throws his X gene, the mom, who has two X's, she can only throw one of those. That's going to be a female, right? If he throws his Y, then that's not where the banana is located.
It's time to get to Grease Monkey and hit refresh on your car's engine, because right now you'll get a standard oil change and a new air filter for just $52. That's a $92 value. Our pit crew certified technicians will have your car running smoother and cleaner in no time. So hurry in today for your standard oil change and air filter and save $40. Only at your neighborhood Grease Monkey. No appointment needed.
So do you understand that? This is why, depending on which chromosome this banana gene is located, whether it's on the X for a female maker or the Y for a male maker, in the father, that's how that is determined. Now, somebody just as I was figuring out sort of how I was going to explain this, about an hour ago, I went onto Facebook and somebody asked a question. They said, "What if the mother and father are both bananas? What genders are they gonna throw a banana to?" And I quickly responded to it and just said, "You'll get males and females." And then I left. And then I realized that wasn't a very good explanation, because it's true, you will get both males and females, but there's a better explanation for it. And so I'll say that here, and we'll figure this out.
Hey everybody, Future Bob here. I'm just editing the current video that you're watching for Past Bob. If you're getting value out of this video, do me a favor and just take 1 second to click the like button. That really helps YouTube's algorithm to push this video out to more people. And this is a genetics video, so let's be honest, it's going to need all the help it can get. If this were a video on snake farts, we wouldn't need to have this conversation.
So we got mom and dad are bananas. There's also super banana, which could happen. Banana is an incomplete dominant gene. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but whatever. You could have super bananas too. But right now we're just saying that mom is a single gene banana and dad is a single gene banana. Let's make him a male maker. Just for this, since we were talking about that before. Okay, so here we go. Here's the more complete explanation. It's that every boy is going to be either a banana or a super banana. Okay, always. 100% of the boys will be bananas, barring a crossover event. We're going to put the dad's girl gene here, the X, because he's the one that determines the gender. So the gender has been determined. It's going to be a girl. 50% of the girls will be bananas in this case. Okay? Because the father is the one who determines the gene. So there's no banana in his gene, and there is banana in half of the mom's genes. So 50% of the girls will be bananas, 50% will be normal, 100% of the boys will be bananas, and out of those banana boys, 50% will be super banana. So that's the more complete explanation of the question that was on Facebook about an hour ago. Let's take a look at super banana. Mom's a super banana, dad's a female maker. Mom gives one of these genes, it doesn't matter which one, she's always going to give a banana gene. Dad gives a Y, you got a banana. Dad gives an X, you've got a super banana. So, and that's going to happen the exact same way with the other one. So you're only going to get bananas in super bananas in that case. And the only super bananas are going to be female. And the only single gene bananas are going to be male. You can almost sex your ball pythons this way if you're not good at popping or probing. However, there is that crossover event. And basically, what that means, a crossover event, and I don't understand it well enough to probably explain it properly, but think about it this way. As all this stuff is happening, cells are dividing or doing whatever they do. I'm not a geneticist, you guys. This little yellow square comes off and crosses over and lands on the Y. And then all of a sudden, just in this sperm right here, this one, it becomes this. And now that one baby is a male maker, ends up being a male banana. So that I've heard 5% and I've heard 6% of the time. Some breeders are saying that their experience is like 10% or something like that. But when I've heard it from actual genetics experts, they say 5 or 6%. But either way, it's highly unlikely that that'll happen. So you can almost figure, I mean, I would sex them anyway, because for me, I would love to have the inspector throw a male that's not a banana, and I'd love to see a female that is a banana. I would hold those back in a heartbeat. Did I explain this completely enough? I forgot where we were at here on this. We were talking about, I think I explained that well enough, right? You got bam. Oh yeah, we went through that. We went through that. Okay. Is there any variable that I didn't cover on this? May all your snakes be this cute. I freehand drew that, you guys. I'm not an artist. Come on, and I wrote those letters legibly. I'm pretty proud of myself there. All right, you guys, I hope that was helpful for those of you who stuck with it. I know that genetics videos are not the most popular ones, and I definitely didn't do this one to get a ton of hits. I did it to help people who are genuinely interested in trying to sort this out, and I hope that that helps. Kent, would you like to do a sign off for us?
When it comes to Zaxby's fingers, there's a few non-negotiables. It's gotta be only premium tenderloin, marinated for 12 hours and fried to crispy perfection. What is negotiable? The flavors you create mixing our 12 signature sauces. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Feeling healthy by leaps and bounds. Making a dinner that makes their whole day and giving your...
I wasn't listening, but I just read on Google that bananas, the fruit, kill the same amount of people per year as ball pythons. So I don't know if people aren't peeling them correctly or what, but be careful out there, you guys, with your produce. Thanks, Kent. That was very professional of you. Thanks for watching. And, you know, if you enjoyed the video, take 2 seconds and hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to subscribe. Notification bell. Really appreciate that.
My bad, chat.
These...
You ain't making me bother me.
I am here in Anaheim, California at the Reptile Super with my buddy Lucas. And Lucas, what's your goal today?
I want to find the most colorful, coolest pet here at the whole expo. That's my goal.
We are going to shop around. We're going to head through this incredible, gigantic event, the largest reptile event in the whole world, and find Lucas his new best friend. So let's get going.
This is my size of animal. Look how big these guys are.
Would you do a beaded lizard, Lucas? You know they're venomous, right?
Venomous. I like to live dangerously just like this guy does. So I'm not opposed to that.
Well, he was just saying some guy just died from one recently.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty bad. Their venom is similar to a bee's venom, except highly
it
concentrated.
Through the teeth in like multiple places.
Yep. But yeah, it can stop your heart. It can kill you. They can be pretty gnarly. But you handle them a lot. You handle them with gloves. They chill out, and then they get used to it.
I don't know if I have the space for it. Small 1-bedroom apartment. This guy needs like his own room. So
yeah,
we might have to keep looking.
They're pretty awesome.
Very cool.
All right, Lucas, well, you're looking for colorful. These newts are pretty colorful. What do you think?
Those guys are cool. They're a little too tiny. I mean, I'm a big guy. Like this
you
guy
are?
is like smaller than the size of my index finger. Super cute. Might be great to like watch in the house. Probably fit my house pretty well, but I want something you can kind of handle a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe crawl around on your hand.
All right. So we got to keep looking. Look at
these little guys. They're milk frogs. If these guys didn't keep me awake outside my house, I would consider one. Super cute, amazing animals. Really striped, colorful. I don't know. That'd be a pretty cool one. I might think about that. I might come back to the frogs.
All right, Lucas, this is a Gidgee skink here from Australia with that armored tail.
Dude, look at that pokey tail.
You're kind of a prickly guy. I've known you a very long time.
I'm like, I have thorns.
What I mean is he's a prick. But
he's not wrong.
It does seem like an appropriate pet for you. What do you think?
Dude, amazing camouflage. This tail, I'm definitely prone to injury. So that I might be a liability around this guy, but
I have a lot of trust in medical professionals. So I did want to hear what my daughter's pediatrician had to say. She sat down and really took the time to go over every question that we had.
Moving day made easy with T-Mobile 5G home internet. Switch to the fastest 5G home internet. Delivered same day, powered by DoorDash. Your fastest move on moving day. Just $50 a month. And you get a 5-year price guarantee.
super freaking cool.
Look at how cool these guys are, though. Take a look at this guy here. Look at this tail. Look at the spikiness of them and the alertness. One of the reasons I love skinks so much is look at the alertness in their eyes and the way that they sort of take in everything. A lot of lizards can be kind of dopey, like iguanas can be kind of dopey, not skinks. Skinks are always sort of one step ahead. Really, really neat. This isn't your one, though?
I don't know. Maybe a little more color, a little less danger in this case. Looking for a big animal for a big guy. These snakes are pretty big. This would wrap around me pretty nicely. Look at this guy. Holy cow. The red on that thing, Red Bull, Kingsville, Texas. That's a cool looking snake. Good Lord. Dude, we got some like murdered out snakes over here.
Oh, let's go.
They're just like pitch black. It's like the blackest snake I've ever
I can
seen.
see you liking that. Oh, wow. They're fully black mangrove snakes. That's cool.
Black paint, black rims.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I mean, I came here looking for something colorful, but this thing is pretty freaking sleek. That's badass.
But they are venomous. Mildly in rear fang, but they are venomous.
I can take a mild amount of danger. Like a little bit of danger, we're okay with.
Thank you. All right. He says, can you hold one of the mangrove snakes? That'd be okay?
That's all right.
All right. Let's see it, tough guy.
Look at this guy. This guy's so cool. I was a snake guy when I was a kid too. So I've had snakes before.
Coming back around.
I've never had a black snake. Perfect.
Oh, look at that guy.
Place. Oh, he's super light too. I didn't realize how lightweight.
Yeah, they're arboreal, so heavyweight wouldn't work too well.
Look at that freaking
Watch your
thing.
thumb.
That's a morph, right? The fully black is a
No,
morph thing?
it's from Sulawesi.
Okay.
They start out with all these multicolored bands like the baby.
Yeah.
And then they all just end up jet black.
Oh, interesting. That's really cool.
This guy's just ready for action. He looks
Give him a little finger. Give him a little.
You can give him. No, you can give him the finger. I am keeping my fingers wet. Like these look like big, juicy. What are they? Mice? Typically, like typical lizard diet, or
birds?
Okay.
Chicks, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is not food, so we're gonna keep the thumbs away here. This thing is super badass.
He's beautiful.
Super cool.
All right, is that it? You going for it?
I think we got a lot more to see today, but definitely gonna put this on the list.
At 6'10", Lucas is always easy to spot in a crowd. You can always see if you've lost him somewhere. He's the guy that stands above everybody else picking out the thing, but it sucks to film next to him because I look like Tom Cruise. I need the little box. Yes, buddy, let's go.
Oh, Jackson's. Dude, look at those horns.
That's
Super
pretty
green.
dinosaur-y.
Oh, the cute little hands. Oh my gosh, I'm melting.
I wore my chameleon
Look at those
shirt
little
today.
hands. The way he grabs onto you it's pure magic. The fact that this just exists in nature, mind-blowing. He's kind of standing up. So he's kind of frozen. He's a little skeptical.
Put your fingers out so it's something to
Like
grab.
branches.
Like branches.
Fingers out like branches.
There you go.
There we go. Nice. This is a fun animal to hold. Those hands just gripping, super tame. How chill he is. Rhodes, what do you think about chameleons? You think this is something we should look after? Should we go find some cool chameleons? I think we should find some cool chameleons. I think so.
But first, we saw someone holding one of the coolest geckos in the entire world that I just had to try and convince Lucas to get.
What's this, Rody? Look back here. Look, Leachianus gecko. Look at that guy. Dude, feel how velvety he is too.
That feels amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Dude, he's like a living little ball of moss.
Giant piece of velvet.
Now, this guy would be hard to find in the wild, I'm sure.
Yes. And they were only discovered relatively recently. Like it was like 40 years ago or something like that. Until then, they were only whispers of them. And allegedly, there's a bigger species of gecko out there that hasn't been found.
This guy is I can't tell you how soft this guy is.
Like velvet.
That is very pleasing to hold.
Isn't that nice? How
He's
sticky and
such a
soft
chiller.
it is? Thank you so much for showing us. Look what I see up on that stick up there. Oh, Lucas, what do
He's
you think?
way up high.
Uh-oh.
Dude, I think we're in the right department. Look how colorful that guy is.
He's very colorful.
Look, he's sitting way up high just like I do. Look at him on his perch up there. That's insane. We're going to take a look at these guys over here.
Dude, look at that guy.
Amazing.
That's insane.
You have to buy that.
I have to.
You have to, Lucas.
Rose said it. I have to buy this guy. That is a really freaking cool. He's got the blues, he's got the reds, he's got the greens.
It sounds like we've landed on at least the reptile of choice, maybe not the individual. Is that your eyes lit up when we got to chameleons?
I mean, you know that like butterfly feeling when you're going on a first date and it all works out. That's like kind of what I'm feeling here.
Wait. All right, it's going to be a
This guy
chameleon.
is awesome.
It's going to be a chameleon.
I think we're going to get a couple out of the cage, actually see them on the
there
hand,
you
see
go.
the temperament.
That's a good
Because
call.
temperament matters, right? If I get one that's just a little, I don't know if I want to.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I want to take him up. Now, can you tell me a little bit about this guy?
He comes from one of my favorite breeders who's produced like some just amazing offspring.
Can we get this guy out? I'll let you guys. Dude, this guy's motoring too.
He sees the high ground.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get to the top way up here. Look at that reach.
So Lucas, I'll give you just my commentary on it. Blue is the rarest color in nature. I don't know if you know that or not. Not to say that you go for whatever you like. You can always get red plants, you can always get green plants. Blue is the only color that doesn't exist as commonly in nature.
Well, she looks like she's grabbing something a little bit different right here. A little bit different. Let's see what she's grabbing. Oh, he's firing up a bit.
Getting a little peeved at my face right
So
now.
why is he getting puffy
Oh,
like
look
that?
at that.
Like, yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't like your shirt. Wow.
Like, that's my color, not
Defensive.
yours.
Yeah. Oh man, that one's got some depth to it.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
This guy's going to be near the top. We'll see. A little bit of a different flavor here. Wow.
That's the one for me, because I like blue, but you know, everybody's got their preference. But that color to me, it doesn't have that pop factor of the red and the orange, but just that deep blue, I think is, because it's the rarest color in nature. So it's like when you see blue like that, it's so exciting.
Look at those eyes. Can you get a close up of those? Look at the color on the eyes. A little bit of red and blue. Look at those stripes.
From that sire that I'll cover now.
Okay.
Now,
So this is a special one.
All right, let's get a little side by side going though. We got our guy who's very red and green here with his blue, and then your deep blue and green. What's reaching out to you?
And there. Now, in one hand, we have some incredible colors. You have almost every color you can imagine. This guy seems to be a little more chill. He's a little bit older. He's kind of just hanging out, very self-aware.
I was gonna say more self-confident.
Very much so. And I got blue on today. I don't know if that was foreshadowing. I'm really enjoying holding this guy here. This guy just seems
Very
like
gorgeous.
While Lucas was busy making his final decision, I snuck off to go and check out some of my favorite animals that I was yet to see.
All right, so found my favorite area here, which is the freshwater turtles. It's the thing I have the most of at home and the thing that I enjoy the most. Some really unique stuff here. So Lysemis, which is the Indian flapshell, which I actually have one at home, and I think I showed off during my home tour, but really, really cool. Got to keep them by themselves. They can be aggressive. And then two different types of Indian roof turtles here, which are unbelievable. Like, look at the coloration on these guys. This is a spectacular creature. So always good to see these guys. They know what they're doing. They have some exceptional animals, and I love turtles. I like turtles. I just think they're the coolest animal ever. Well, the one instruction was definitely don't come home with any more animals, and now we're coming home with a Florida softshell turtle. No, you're okay, because the deal was, you got him? The deal was, as long as we're not building any more enclosures. So he can go very comfortably into the hatchling tank, which is pretty empty right now. So we're okay. We're not in trouble. Well, maybe. We'll see. I'm in trouble. You're in trouble. You picked him out. Rhodes, look at this guy. Look at that. Look at that. How cool is that, dude? So do you know what they use those big horns for? What? To flip each other over when they're fighting. Isn't it? You know that? Put your hand flat. You've seen it in a show. What show? Not one of Dad's shows.
No, a nature show.
Oh, a better show.
Watching me.
I have free time now on the weekends and evenings, even though I'm running a busy lawn care business.
You take it easy.
I use Jogger. I can have quality time with my family, and I'm not worrying about invoice, schedule, or chasing.
That's super neat, though. It's pretty cool. You never really know what you're going to see at these reptile shows, because obviously not a reptile, but I've never got to hold one of these guys before, so that's really neat. There you go. These giant crabs. Wow, right? I've seen these guys. Actually, I've eaten these guys. We even have a clip on one of our shows, Caribbean Monk Seal, where we caught and ate some of these guys. So this is cool. Talk about something unique at the reptile show, huh? Pretty mellow or not? They're pretty mellow?
Turn on the other light.
Yeah, that's cool. It's fun, man. Yeah, I got it. Super cool. Want to touch somebody?
Without doing that, it's
Oh, no. That's a really bad place to touch. Just be smart and just touch his shell. There you go. There you go. Interesting. Super cool, man. Well, thank you for showing me. All right, so we have pretty much toured the entire rest of the reptile show, and I think Lucas has been stuck over here at the chameleon booth the whole time. So it's time to see whether or not he's actually selected an animal.
And little does Lucas know, once he's picked up his new animal, Zumed and I have a special surprise for him and his new friend.
All right, have you picked, Lucas?
We have settled, and I came here looking for the coolest, most colorful animal.
Yep.
Something that's chill and gonna go really well in my home, and this is the guy.
So we've settled on a chameleon. It's done. Can I see him? Do you mind?
Yep.
All right, so these beautiful chameleons here from Camouflage Creations. This is a juvenile, so he's what, 3-4 months old?
3 months old.
3 months old, and you can see how much color this animal has. Lucas, this guy's going to grow to be a flagship of color.
He's gonna blow your shirt out of the water. I mean, like,
how fortuitous is that I wore my chameleon shirt and you decided to get a chameleon today?
I think we're in for a real treat with this guy.
For sure.
He's stunning.
Yeah.
Well, I think you picked well, dude. But here's the thing. You're settling up on your transaction with this chameleon. He still needs a home.
Yeah, I can't put him on the pillow next to me, so I think we need to go get an enclosure set up.
All right, so why don't you square up with that, and we'll go find and build him his own tank now.
Come here, buddy.
All right, dude. Well, you picked out an insanely beautiful chameleon. I'm stoked for you, but are you going to keep him in there?
I don't think this is a proper home for him, honestly, so let's get him set up.
I don't think so either. And luckily, Jack here is a good buddy of mine. What's up, pal?
How's it going?
And I touched base with him. Jack, this is Lucas.
Nice to meet you. Jack, nice to meet you.
And so you know that we came here today, and I told you this morning that we're going to pick up a new animal, and you're going to help us with a build.
You did.
So Lucas, I got a little surprise for you. Jack here at ZoomEd, these guys are the best. They've been supporting me with my animals for many, many years, which I love. He's going to set you up with a fully custom rig. We're going to build it right here.
No way.
Let's freaking do it,
Dude, I'm stoked, and this guy's going to be stoked even more.
All right, guys. So this right here is our double door Repti Breeze. This is a 36 by 18.
This is for Lucas?
This is for Lucas.
Dude, this thing's huge. Look at this thing.
I already got started. I put the substrate in there. Got a bunch of materials for you guys to use. Some plants, some lights, some equipment. It'll be cool.
Let's scape it.
Let's do it. I guess the first order of business, it's probably good to start with your wood. Panther chameleons are kind of bush and tree specialists, right? So they're gripping onto kind of small circumference branches. So we got a lot of stuff laid out here for you to choose from.
It's like a great centerpiece. Oh, there we go. So that's living plant, right?
Yep. That's a live plant, one of our core grounds.
And we gotta have live plant. It's healthy, right? It's a good place for the bugs to hide, good place for the chameleon to hide.
I found with panthers and chameleons in general, you kind of got to match like the branch circumference to like the size of their hands almost.
Sure.
So when he's small like that, you almost want to put the smaller branches kind of higher up where you can bask.
Spines are perfect for them to climb on, right?
Exactly, especially for his size too. He'll love climbing all over these.
What a crazy looking thing. Oh, this is coming together quick. That went from being a box to being a home in no time. So you guys make all of these things, right?
Yep.
Yep. All your products.
Yes. So this stuff right here, this is our tolawa wood, our mangrove root.
Okay.
This is going to be our pork branches. And then we have a ton of these. They're supposed to mimic epiphytic plants. You can kind of shove them into wherever you want and they'll look great. So now that we got the build done, we can kind of transition to more like the equipment and the life support systems for this enclosure. So the first thing we're going to do, this is our Repti fogger. Fogging provides what we call humidity, the amount of moisture in the air. Panther chameleons come from Madagascar. It's super humid over there. It's tropical jungle. So we want to mimic that, even in the air.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. Okay, great. So this looks super convenient. You just
exactly just plug it in, turn it on, and bam.
Look at that. Now we needed some strobe lights in there.
Well, speaking of lighting, we can get into lighting next. So this is our new Repti Sun LED. The cool thing about this guy is that this thing's super bright and it actually comes with a controller. And what you can do with the controller is set up your sunset and sunrise. So you can actually have it ramp over the course of 90 minutes if you wanted to, like a slow, gradual buildup in light, just like the sun coming up.
Wait, that's the whole light, this tiny little bar?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so low profile. My lights are like this tall. That's old school.
So you can customize your ramp up and your ramp down over the course of a 30 to 90 minute period. This pretty much is for the day cycle, to mimic that day cycle, as well as to provide the plants some good lighting. This will really help those plants grow. So this next bit of equipment, this is our Repti Sun T5 UVB fixture. UVB is super important for reptile growth, or reptile bone growth especially. And what UVB does, it allows the reptiles to synthesize D3. And D3 will help with the conversion of calcium to bone growth, essentially. So without this bulb, what ends up happening is that the animals can't, use calcium to further strengthen their bones and grow. So they end up coming out a little wonky sometimes.
They get deformed, they get skinny looking, their eyes get sunken in, the whole thing.
Not good stuff. So it's really important to provide this. It'll let them get closer if they want more UVB, or farther away down if they want less UVB, and modulate their UVB exposure in a really natural way by providing it over the whole enclosure on that nice tall enclosure. All right, now the last bit of lighting that we're going to give to the chameleon is a basking bulb. So these guys are diurnal. They'll, go out into the sunlight and soak up those sun rays, but they're also going out there to soak up the heat to kind of help with metabolism and all that. So it's really important to provide a basking spot lamp, so a place in the enclosure that they can go to get that heat if they so desire. So we're just going to put this guy on one side of the enclosure.
Oh, really simple.
Yeah, super easy. And this right side then is going to be the warm zone. So if the chameleon wants to get a little bit warmer, say he just had a meal or something to go digest, he'll kind of go over to this right side of the enclosure.
Sweet, and that's it?
That's it.
So you don't need anything else?
Nope.
I thought that was going to take like 2 hours when you're like, oh, we'll build a tank for you at the show. This took like 10 minutes. I'm shocked. Look at how cool this looks with like the fog dripping over the sticks. And I mean, it looks like a jungle in Madagascar.
It does. Should we grab the guy and see if he likes it?
We're done. Do you want to put the chameleon in with Lucas? Go get him. Go on, go with Lucas and get him.
Thanks, buddy. All right, here's my guy. Let's take my new little buddy. Let's see how he likes this thing.
So yeah, Lucas, this is all for you. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you enjoy being a new chameleon owner. I hope you get it unpacked and loaded in the car.
Dude, thank you so much.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. All
yeah, man.
I'm so stoked.
The one that we're getting.
In today's video, we're going to check out one of the most popular ball python genes worldwide, the banana gene. In today's video, we're going to discuss some of the different aspects and sex links you can get with the banana gene. So if you, like you guys know, is the banana gene consists of male makers, female makers, and of course you get the super bananas as well. So we're going to go in depth and discuss what happens if you breed with a male maker, a female maker, and of course then the super bananas. So let's go check out firstly the male. So let's start off by discussing male making males. So originally the first bananas that came in from Africa to the United States, most of those animals were males, and after the guys were breeding them in the different countries, they realized that all of the males, or all of the bananas that were being reproduced were males, and all of the wild type or normal animals in those clutches were females. So they come to the conclusion that you get male makers and female makers. So firstly, let's discuss male making bananas. So male making bananas, let's say for instance, you breed a male maker to a normal female, 50% of the babies should be banana and should be males, and 50% of the babies should be normal and should be female. However, there is a possibility of crossovers. So crossovers is when, for instance, you breed a male making banana male to a normal female. All of the babies should be males, but for let's say for
what the fuck?
What?
He's saying they should be 50%.
In this video, we will cover 8 interesting banana ball python facts. Number 1, strange gender difference in banana ball pythons. Nature has made it so that male banana ball pythons are either mostly male makers or mostly female makers, but never both. This is especially true for males. When a male banana has banana ball pythons, they are usually more of one sex than the other. In 2015, a ball python breeder had 40 banana ball pythons hatch, and 39 of them were male. That works out to 97%. No one knows why this keeps happening, but here's what's been proven. If a female banana gives birth to a male banana, most of their offspring will be female bananas. These are known as female makers. If a male banana is born from a male banana, most of its children will also be male bananas. The name for them is male makers. No one has studied this strange thing scientifically, but people who breed ball pythons know about it. It is one of the strangest things that can happen to ball pythons. Number 2, Africa is where banana ball pythons come from. The banana morph was invented by a man named William Slough. Ball pythons have been bred in captivity since 1989, but it wasn't until 2003 that William Slough brought the first banana ball python into the breeding world. All ball pythons come from bloodlines that started in Africa, so all banana ball pythons came from the one William brought in 2003. The most amazing thing is that this happens with all proven out ball python morphs, like pastel, piebald, spider, and more. Even ball pythons caught in the wild can have the same gene as those bred and proven in captivity, but they come from a different bloodline, which brings me to my next interesting fact. Number 3, banana ball pythons kind of can't see. Ball pythons have rods and cones in their eyes, just like people do, but their eyes don't work as well as ours do. The Jacobson organ is a chemical sensing organ that they use to detect or smell their prey. The Jacobson organ checks the air for smells and sends messages to the brain. Their main sense is a combination of the Jacobson organ and the heat pits on the lip just below the nostrils and above the mouth opening. By showing a difference in temperature between what's in front of them and what's in the background, the heat pits give them a sense of depth. Number 4, ball pythons do curl into balls. Ball pythons have a natural defense that keeps them safe from wild animals that want to eat them. They curl into a tight ball protecting their head and neck with their body. This earned them the name ball python, which is a good one. If you've ever held a ball python, you know that they can be jumpy. This is one way they protect themselves. They tend to run away from what they think is dangerous. Ball pythons have more ways to protect themselves than just curling up in a ball and flinching. For example, they can shed their skin to get rid of parasites and stop infections. Number 5, banana ball pythons like to dig. In the wild, you can find these pythons in their burrows during the day, sometimes many of them in the same burrow. At night, they come out to hunt. They hide in burrows for safety, to control the temperature, and even to keep the air moist. In the wild, they find burrows made by animals like rodents and make their homes there. In captivity, however, there are no rodents to make burrows for them, so they tend to find a place to curl up, like in a hide or in some plants. Number 6, for $25,000, the first banana ball python clutch was sold. Banana ball pythons were first bred in captivity in 2003. Will Slough bought the first litter for $25,000. Bananas can now be bought on Morph Market for as little as $150 because there are more of them. Banana ball pythons are still being sold for thousands of dollars because they have been bred with other genes to make beautiful combinations, and those genes make the price go up. The most expensive banana ball python for sale right now is a banana enchai cinnamon clown, which costs a huge $8,500. Number 7, banana ball pythons can lay eggs even if they don't have a mate. Female ball pythons can sometimes lay more than 11 eggs in a single clutch. Once they lay their eggs, they take care of them on their own by curling around them and keeping them safe. The unfertilized eggs that a ball python lays are called slugs. Since slugs are not real eggs, they won't turn into baby snakes like fertilized eggs will. A small, dark yellow egg that hasn't been fertilized is a good sign. Number 8, banana ball pythons are constrictors. Ball pythons hunt by sneaking up on their prey and striking quickly when they are ready. They find their food, mostly small rodents, with their tongues and their heat pits. Once they detect their prey, they will strike, bite, and
Have they said like how old that snake is? Do they know?
I don't know, but he's definitely a baby.
Hi. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Feet long. Okay, well,
Probably
this one's
just-
not. He's 4 feet,
right.
but females can get 5 foot plus.
3
A
months.
5-foot snake can't live in a 40-gallon enclosure their entire life. Not only that, but, and there's a few things we'll touch on specifically, but, oh, ball pythons don't do this. Ball pythons won't use that. Ball pythons' humidity level should never be above this or that, and they don't need hides, and they should be in drawers, and they're going to get stressed out and won't eat otherwise, and just most of the information is not really good. So I would just, take it with a grain of salt. Instead, use a few different sources, right? So watch Clint's video, watch my video, watch Barchuk's video, Snake Discovery, whoever, right? Pick your sources and then kind of meet in the middle. And I think those examples, most of us kind of have the same idea. Read care guides from people who do studies. Watch the Dave Coffin ball python video where he actually goes in the wild to see what they're like in the wild. Of course, take this with a grain of salt. Don't treat animals like they're wild animals. They're not. If I put this animal out in West Africa where ball pythons are from, it would probably be eaten pretty quickly considering it's a morph, right? There's just certain things that you take with a grain of salt, and these are care guides that we make. They're not, do as I say or your ball python will spontaneously combust. That's not a real thing. So just take everything with a grain of salt, do your research, and use common sense. That's the most important part. But for this point, don't use outdated information solely. Don't get a book because it's a book and people who can read books think they're better than everyone who doesn't read books. Oh, I read it from a book. Okay, well, guess what? Books can't be updated. A book from 1999 isn't as accurate as something that was updated last week about ball pythons in all likelihood. So just because it's a book and on paper and you seem super smart reading one, doesn't mean that it's the proper information. Number 4 is that ball pythons do in fact need light. A lot of people will say, oh, ball pythons, they're nocturnal, so therefore they don't need light. Well, they do. They still need to know when it's nighttime and when it's daytime. They are not magic. The way that they tell that is the same way that you and I do. When it's dark, it's night. When it's not, it isn't. Of course, they use temperature and humidity spikes as well. But the point is, even if you keep them in a rack, and I'm not going to say racks are bad or anything like that in this video. There's a whole video right here about that if you want to watch it, where I take on that topic. But even if you're keeping them in a rack system that doesn't have a light in the enclosure, they're going to get the light from the room to let them know that it's daytime. So I'm not saying, you know, outfit them with like the best lighting situation and make sure that they have UVB, although UVB 2.0 could probably be good for them. I don't think that it's mandatory to keep UVB or special lighting on your ball python. The way that I keep mine in 4x2x2 enclosures, which is what I recommend in my care guide, is I have a Govee strip light. There's a link in the description if you want the same one. And I use a radiant heat panel for heat, and then the radiant heat panel on, because I stack them, below acts as the heat spot for the enclosure above it. It's kind of an easy setup. I mean, once you get used to it. Should I cover this in the reptile room tour, which we're doing? It's filmed. I just have to edit it, by the way. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to see that. Either way, they do need lighting, not special lighting, but they need to know when it is daytime and when it is not daytime. Speaking of not needing light, there's quite a few things that you don't need, and I'm talking about bad habit. But that doesn't mean you have to quit your habit cold turkey. That just means we need to take the bad out of the habit. And that's where today's sponsor, Fume, comes in. Fume is an innovative, award-nominated device that does just that. Helps you take that bad out of your habit. Fume does not live in termite mounds. They live in termite mounds the way that you and I live in houses. And I know someone's going to make the joke, it's bold of you to assume I never leave my apartment. It's like, okay, well, whatever, basement dweller. The point is, sure, they might spend time, and that's where they take refuge from elements and predators in a termite mound, but they don't spend every waking second in a termite mound. This is often the excuse or reasoning that people who use ball python racks always never giving them a big enough bin, keeping them really cramped with nothing but a water bowl, like to use. You know, they say, oh, well, you know, 4x2x2, why? In the wild, they would never, no. In the wild, they have ranges. They definitely use more than 8 square feet of space. Sure, they're going to live and sleep in a termite mound, just like you live and sleep in an apartment or a house. The point is, just because a ball python spends a lot of time in a certain place does not mean they live there. Doesn't mean that we should keep them in the smallest enclosure possible. What that means is, let's make it like the real world, where the real world is really big. West Africa is really big. They have a really big range. And then the termite mound is an option. So give them room to move and then give them a hide that will act as that termite mound, because that is how it works in real life. Termite mounds don't have doors that shut and never open again. They can choose to leave if they want. And they do. It's crazy, but there are no keepers who just come around all the termite mounds in West Africa with tongs and a rat once a week. Like, that's not a thing. They leave to go find rats.
A better way to bank, a sweeter way to sip. All at the Capital One Cafe.
Dog Chow, giving you 100 for 100 years.
Duh. Number 2, ball pythons do in fact use height. So if you give them the option, they will climb most of the time. I'm not saying every single one. They're individuals, right? If you give most humans the opportunity to go into a pool in the heat of the summer, they're going to choose to. Some people don't know how to swim or don't like it. You know what I mean? Most people are going to choose to drive a Ferrari over a Corolla. Some people won't because they're hipsters. I don't know why you would choose to do that. But the point is, some ball pythons will choose not to use height if they're given height. But in my experience, which is over a decade, keeping literally over 100 ball pythons from babies to adults, they almost always choose to use it. Pikachu, for example, I have footage of him using height when it's offered to him. And that's why I recommend 2-foot enclosures, just because it gives you the option if it's there. Now, of course, if you observe this ball python for a year, I don't know, and they never use height, well, by all means, use a smaller enclosure if you really want to. But in my experience, they're going to use height. Ball pythons are going to climb. Use a couple 2x4s, untreated ones, of course. Use, I don't know, bamboo logs and sticks or whatever. Make your own. Put a hide on the ceiling. Animals at Home does this for his carpet python. These are great examples of how to give them that space. Because in the ball python movie, like, you know, Dave finds out, a lot of the times, sure, it's because of monsoons and they're trying to escape water that is, you know, drowning out their homes, but they're going to be found in the trees. So that's natural for them. It's natural for them to be found in the trees. Also, it's thought that younger ball pythons, not proven, but thought, a theory, younger ball pythons, especially males, will eat a lot of birds, which they're going to find the nests in the trees. So they're going to climb. So would I call them a semi-arboreal snake? No. But if you give them opportunity to climb, it's fun for you because your eyes are going to move around. That's personally why I love things like dart frogs, because they're going to use all the height and move around. It's not just this one plane of field. So, and I think that's why people love aquariums, right? Because fish are here, there, everywhere, up and down. Well, ball pythons can be the same way if you give them the option. Number 1, not eating is okay. If the ball python is not eating for a certain amount of time, it's okay. Here's what you look for to make sure that it's not okay. You want to see if the ball python is losing weight. So I recommend just throw your ball python in a bucket on a food scale and figure it out. If your ball python, say 2,000 grams, which is in the range of normalcy for, some ball pythons, especially females, then okay, it's 2,000 grams. The ball python stops eating for, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months. Is it now 1,990 grams? Well, who cares? It lost 10 grams. What's the percentage of that ball python's weight, right? It doesn't really matter because it's negligible, right? You're going to lose 10 grams from taking a good urate if you're a ball python, right? So you don't have to worry about that. If they lose significant weight and no longer look like this, which in my opinion is the perfect body shape for a ball python, then you have stuff to worry about. But that is not the case if they're not losing weight. Ball pythons go off feed. That's a normal thing. That's part of it. This doesn't mean that you're setting them up incorrectly. If they're not eating to the point where they're losing weight and starving themselves, then yes, you likely have an issue with humidity or heat, or you're not giving them enough space to actually hide. So maybe they do feel insecure, but don't jump to that immediately. Pikachu, he didn't this year, but in the years I've owned him since 2017, every year except for the past year, he has gone on a food strike and he just refuses to eat for 5 months. And then like clockwork, he goes back on. Now for me, it's not a big deal. I got tons and tons of snakes that eat the same size rat as Pikachu does. So when he doesn't eat, it's not a wasted life. It goes to someone else. I understand how it's maybe, not great for you and hurts you to not be able to see your ball python eat every week if you only have one of them. And of course, then you're wasting a life. But if your ball python's going on food strike, just maybe, all right, well, he didn't eat this week or last week or the week after that. Give it a month and see what happens. So that way you're wasting one rat a month rather than, one rat every week. So anyway, those are the 5 things. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with these things or more things, because there's a lot of people here that are getting into ball pythons, and I would love a community if we could help each other out. What's something that you think we need to know about ball pythons?
Watch this one.
If your communication sucks, your whole business feels sloppy. We use our jobber dedicated phone number to send out a text message to all customers with an estimated ETA that both
He flipped 100 rocks in Australia, and this is what he found. I'm not gonna lie, thumbnail went bananas, gang.
Australia is known for the craziest and deadliest animals. That's why I'm going there to flip 100 objects to find crazy bugs, venomous creatures, and so much more underneath. I'll be starting in Australia's most iconic rainforest, but by the end, we're gonna get to the iconic Australian desert with insane animals everywhere. But don't think the rainforest is boring, because literally under this first object, I instantly found something deadly. This is a baby giant centipede, which when they get older are known for having some of the most painful bites in the animal kingdom. Since we're on Australia, we're very likely to see a way bigger one soon. Under the second object, I found something I've always wanted to find. Oh my gosh, I thought there was nothing here, but there's a literal massive bug. But that's exactly part of this bug's design. This is a spiny leaf insect, one of the most camouflage insects in existence. You could barely even see it when I was standing on this leaf. Pretty cool. So I kept exploring, and when I got to object number 3, I found nothing. So I'm only going to show the most interesting animals from now on, which thankfully object number 6 had something super interesting. At first, you may just...
I don't know if I want to eat while I... Oh, y'all saw that cheese pool? That was a good cheese pool. Well, let's see.
I think these are regular old ants, but if you look closely, it's actually an insane species. They are trapjaw ants, which you can tell by their massively wide trapjaw mandibles. They have these microscopic hairs inside the jaws that when a prey touches it, the jaws snap within a fraction of a second, making it almost impossible for prey to escape. Yeah, Australia is crazy. Now, as I continued on the trail, I was going to flip this log, but on top, I noticed there was actually a special species of millipede, which apparently has the ability to spit acid out of its mouth. Now, if you didn't know, with me, I have the backpack, where I pack tons of cool objects to interact with the animals I find. And this time I grabbed a pack of paintbrushes. I wanted to see how this bug would react to being rubbed by one, and yeah, he was pretty mad. Initially, he kept curling up and biting the end of the brush, but eventually I caught it doing this. Yup, it just sprayed its acid defense chemical, which stained at the edge of my paintbrush, and yeah, it just kept biting it over and over. Well, sorry for disturbing you, little guy. That was pretty cool to watch, though. Now, as I continued on to object number 11, I found this. It's not a rock, it's actually a termite nest. Yeah, termites will spend years, day by day, constructing a nest out of dirt. Sometimes they even get absolutely massive like this one. Although this one looked like it may have been abandoned, and there was something infiltrating it. Yo, there's like a weird tail thing coming out of this nest. Yeah, it was literally partly inside the termite nest and poking its head out. I thought I had found some undocumented snake species.
Yo, a nigga said agent a nerd for being interested by animals. Yo, bro. I'm not gonna lie, chat. There's a certain archetype of person where the only thing that entertains them is degenerate shit. That's it. And they're gonna grow to aspire to be degenerate. And they're just gonna be a failure. Bro, you're not interested in the world around you? What? Who's the fucking weirdo here? The video started with a giant centipede. I'm hooked.
Or maybe a leech, but if you actually really focus hard on how this thing is moving, and in specific this tiny little white thing on the edge of its head, you can tell that this is a baby land planarian. If you don't know what these are, well, they are insanely creepy. In this footage, you can see how they eat. Basically, they go up to an unsuspecting snail or worm, then all of a sudden they completely wrap around it, releasing a sticky mucus to make it impossible for the prey to escape. Then they push some weird alien tube out their body that they can inject into the prey to then slurp up the insides like a smoothie. Talk about brutal. I think I'm gonna have to leave you alone. Now, under object number 16, I found a cricket, which I just thought was cool because in America, the crickets are a bright tan color usually, but this one would...
Hey, this nigga about to bring him back home to terrorize him, man. We know what you do to crickets, nigga.
It's way darker. Now, I quickly took out the backpack and grabbed a clear container out from inside. Yeah, if you didn't know, these crickets make an excellent food source for other animals I'll find, so I'll be saving this to eat to something later. As I continued walking through this beautiful rainforest, I came across a little creek.
This looks like the perfect water area for deadly crocodiles to be swimming in. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be standing so close, actually.
You can't bring crickets back. You can't bring a fucking cricket on an airplane, can you?
Yeah, I don't know why everything in Australia is so deadly, but I went and flipped some rocks along the river where I, of course, found a little earthworm. Nice. Under another river rock, I found a pretty solid-sized beetle grub. You can see it was quite a bit bigger than my gloved fingertip, but some of these beetle grubs will seriously grow so large over the course of a few years that they may turn into beetles that are just genuinely insane.
All right, let me put your rock back, mister. Hopefully you turn into an amazing, massive beetle one day.
But as I left the river a little bit, I found easily the weirdest
We watched the video with that beetle like a month ago.
I don't know if you guys can see, but there's something moving under this log.
Yeah, it was a bunch of extremely weird white things moving around constantly. I had to get out the backpack to grab a flashlight so I can get a better look at what was going on. This gave me a bit of a better view to see that inside of here was tons and tons of super thin legs. But they were just shaking so much that I had no clue what these things were until I poked a stick inside, which gave me a slightly better look at one of them. Yeah, if we pause at the perfect moment, it may look like some sort of spider, but in reality, this is a phantom crane fly. Apparently, footage of these guys is insanely hard to get because, well, they shake like crazy when they detect a predator. But in this rare footage I found, you can see how they fly like an alien spaceship.
Like a spider.
I'm not even gonna lie, this might be the coolest fly species on Earth. What? For object 29, I flipped some of these dead sea things and found another super cool ant species. You can see by these guys' awesome gold and green color that they are Australian weaver ants. And what's so interesting is you see how this guy has its green abdomen pointing up.
Abdomen, nigga, that's his booty.
up, well, that's actually their special ability. While most ants have mandibles or stingers to take down their prey, well, weaver ants literally have an acid spray in their abdomens that they use to either defend themselves like these ants or spray other attacking ants. Yeah, they also build bridges out of their bodies to help the rest of the colony walk across leaves.
Yo, I love
Talk about a
ants.
crazy ant species. Now, the next animal I found was
I love
actually
ants, bro.
under a tree. If you
Except
look
bullet
closely,
ants.
there was actually some sort of bug that looked like it was just floating right under here. I had to put the stick behind it so my camera would focus on it, and after it did, I saw that this is actually a super cool animal called an inchworm. These guys are basically able to float under trees by spinning a tiny thread of silk that connects them to the leaves above so they can just hang from it.
Like a
This guy
spider?
actually climbed onto the stick I was holding, and when I went to put him back, you could see how they have some of the funniest movements. Since their legs are only on the front and back of their body, they just walk around by curling their entire body up like this. Seems like a lot of effort, but yeah, I just put this guy right back. Now, object 41 was this coconut, which I found out something super cool about. But interestingly, I first noticed that there was actually one of those trapjaw ants from earlier biting onto my finger. Yeah, I wasn't joking about how strong these things' jaws are, and he was glued onto my hand just trying to inject his venomous stinger in. Good thing I had these gloves on. Anyways, what is so interesting about this coconut is almost this perfect circle drilled into the side of it. This
Look
is
at that
not
thing.
natural. It's actually a sign of a giant white-tailed rat. You see, these things live in the Australian rainforest and find fallen coconuts. They then use their insanely large teeth to drill a massive hole into coconuts, which most animals can't.
Wouldn't that make it natural? Like if a rat in the ecosystem made a hole, wouldn't that just make it?
Then they drink up all the coconut water and eat some of that tasty white meat on the inside. But after the rat leaves, other bugs also come in here, like these sap beetles, to eat the bacteria that grows inside. Dang, a lot of life in one single coconut. And so I kept on exploring, and when I flipped object 44, I found some of the weirdest
What
springtails
the fuck
I've ever seen.
is
If you didn't
that?
know, springtails are tiny little bugs that are usually white, but these ones in Australia I found are bright red. That may not seem super interesting, but if you didn't know, there's a massive market online of people buying and selling super rare springtail species, and apparently 10 Australian red springtails
Damn.
sells for over $30. So yeah, if I was smart, I'd grab these and sell them, but I don't want to interfere with the wildlife, so I'll let them be. Now this trail is awesome because not only
One
does it end
scoop,
up in the
$200.
iconic Australian red desert, but it also passed by a literal beach. Yeah, the rainforest was connected to the water here, so I figured I should flip a couple seaside rocks. Under some of them were these aquatic snails with these pretty cool looking shells, and out of other rocks, crabs would dart out looking for cover. I wanted to get a close up of that crab that ran out, so I flipped the rock right next to it and found an even bigger crab. Oh, look at him, bro. He's just staring at me with his claws. Yeah, you can see, compared to the size of my finger, he could definitely give me a pretty good pinch, but thankfully he went and retreated down into his perfectly placed hole. Now there was also some tiny fish here that I tried to catch with this net from the backpack, but they were just so unbelievably fast, if you can even see them moving around in this footage. This ocean is crazy though, because the Great Barrier Reef is literally less than 10 miles from
Oh
where
my
I was
God.
standing. That place is home to some of the craziest and deadliest ocean life in the world, so I think I'll definitely come back here to make an underwater video one day. Make sure you're subscribed so when I come back here, you'll get notified about the insane video I make. Anyways, I'll keep exploring.
Why
Now,
not
back
do
in
it
the
now?
rainforest, I ended up finding a little log and
Bro, just go
footprint.
now.
Underneath was just some super tiny, kind of boring ants, which normally I wouldn't show. I was watching back this footage, I noticed this leaf had something super cool on it. See all those weird bumps perfectly laid out across the leaf?
Yeah.
Well, those are eggs. Apparently, there's a bug called a large leaf-footed bug that lays their eggs on the bottom of leaves and apparently are able to lay them in this perfect brick formation, which I just find interesting how symmetrical it is. As I continued down the rainforest trail, I found something pretty crazy. Yo, these have got to be the biggest fruits I've seen in my life. And in fact, this is actually the largest fruit in the world, called a jackfruit. But what was cool was that it was split open by some animal and was completely rotting. Tons of wildlife was eating it up, like these flies, and it even had some little worm larvae things that were just
Ew.
eating their fair share of it too. Must be pretty tasty. Just kidding. That looks absolutely nasty. Now the next thing I found was under another tree, but my camera wasn't really focusing on it, so I held the backpack up behind it to show you guys what it is. It may look like some sort of moth butterfly thing caught on a spider web, but in fact, this yellow triangle thing is the spider itself. It's a type of northern jewel spider, and yeah, they're born with these crazy rock-solid sharp patterns on their back. This makes it so spiders' biggest predators, birds, have a way harder time eating them. The last animal I found in the rainforest section was under this log. It was another crab, but this time it was a land crab, which is a little bit different than the beach crab we found earlier. These guys actually quite enjoy eating crickets, and if you remember in the backpack, I actually caught a cricket in this container earlier in the video, which might kind of not be alive anymore, but it'll still make for some great food. So I brought it over to the crab and waved it around in front of him.
Free food, buddy.
Pretended to grab it, but then all of a sudden he darted away so fast into a little puddle. He was probably a little bit scared of me.
Well, I'll leave that with you, little buddy, if you want to eat it.
Well, I finally made it to the Australia desert, which has some of the most deadliest animals on Earth. And that was instantly proven because under this first rock was another baby centipede. But this guy was still pretty small. However, I'm super confident we're going to find a way bigger one. Now, under this little piece of bark, there wasn't actually anything, but I did see something running around in the corner of my eye, so I went to try and catch it. When I did, I realized it was a burrowing frog, which apparently didn't want to be with me because it just jumped straight off my hand. But a frog means there's likely water nearby. And after walking around a little bit, I found this little pool.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here.
I wanted to get a closer look at some of the stuff in here, so I once again took out the backpack and once again grabbed out that clear container. This let me scoop up some of the wildlife in there, which allowed me to catch the first aquatic animal, a tadpole. This is likely the same piece of frog that I had just found, so it's pretty cool we found this. Anyways, the second animal I was able to scoop out of here was quite a bit different. This super weird, almost alien-looking creature is actually a dragonfly larva. Yeah, we've all seen dragonflies. They're pretty insane, cool-looking bugs. Yeah, apparently they start just as weird as babies living under the water. Now, finally, I was seeing one last creature in this pool of water, so I scooped it up. Yeah, these things are almost microscopic in size, but this is either some sort of water beetle or a type of shrimp. I can't really tell which one because of how blurry my footage was. But these guys are probably one of the main food sources of that dragonfly larva we had just seen. Now, as I continued on the trail, I ended up flipping rock 72, where something actually pretty cool did appear. If you look closely, this is a completely bright white spider. I have never seen a completely solid white spider, but apparently these are this color because it helps reflect the sunlight as it just gets so hot in these Australian deserts. This next rock also had something pretty cool.
What?
It was giant wood cockroaches. So what was even cooler was that right next to these guys was this bug running around. This is a top whittler bug, and apparently it's in the same family of bug that laid those crazy eggs earlier in the video. I'm happy we got to find one of these. But finally, after quite a lot of rock flips later of nothing, I finally found something I was looking for.
Nah, that's a big rock, gang. No glove. That's dangerous.
And it kind of scared me when I first flipped the rock, but finally, I had found a fully grown giant centipede. These things are crazy fast, so I kept getting spooked whenever it looked in my direction. But yeah, apparently, despite having some of the most painful bites, it doesn't even have teeth. It actually injects its venom through two of its front legs that have been modified to attack prey. And while other invertebrates just go for small insects like scorpions, centipedes are known to take down literal lizards for lunch. Pretty crazy. Thankfully, the next rock that had something under it also didn't disappoint. So out from underneath ran a little type of velvet gecko. I didn't get to see it for long, but geckos are always pretty cool to find just because of how interesting of an animal they are. They're also some of the most common pet reptiles kept by people. Now, these next rock flips all rapid fire because I wasn't finding anything super insane, but I did find some termites finally. Also, I found this kind of cool grasshopper, which just jumped in the grass, and I found a super cute caterpillar with a pretty unique pattern. If you're wondering, this caterpillar species turns into this pretty cool moth. But now, I only had one more rock.
Caterpillar turn into moths? I thought they were always just like turn into butterflies.
Flip till I got to 100, and I really wanted to find a snake here. So I really locked in to find the best rock I could that could have a snake under it. I needed to find a rock like this that had a little gap under it where a snake could be. But thankfully, it didn't take too long till I ended up finding this.
Oh, yo,
What is that?
a lizard tail or is that a snake?
But as I moved my camera to get a better angle, I was almost certain I had found the body of a snake here. So I very carefully moved the rock to get a little bit of a better look at what was under here. Thankfully, this didn't look like one of Australia's deadly snakes. In fact, based off the pattern, it looked like a Stimson's python, which take down their prey by constricting it, not with venom.
I swear, every single
that's
rock
the
video,
famous
I find
one,
something
dude!
cool on the last rock. Dang, I mean, I don't really want to stress you out, bro, so I guess I'll just leave you under your rock.
No,
Well,
bring them
there was
home,
100 rocks
bro.
left in on-
Those are the ones that strangle you to death. Damn.
Well, if he already knows.
Yo, that's the one, right?
I've been scared, nigga.
He didn't know it was a python. So
Didi, thank you for the sub. Bring him home. You know, at least play with him. No, not bring him home.
did the video and research.
Oh, so when he captured the cricket, it was fine.
Australia for you. Honestly, I found so many cool and
Not
unique
a boa
bugs that make this
constrictor.
trip worth it.
Oh.
But I know Australia has so much more to offer to crazy animals, so I'm definitely coming back out here one day.
Are you staying down here all night?
No. What do you want to do? I'm hungry.
My food is in there. I'm not hungry.
Oh, you're not hungry.
I don't know. I didn't eat. My stomach.
Oh, what the Tubi movie funniest moments? I know that's funny, bro. I know that's funny.
That is probably funny. Let's
That's funny as hell.
I think I seen this one on Twitter.
Is that true?